もう迷いはない。私のすべてを強さに変えて打つ。取られていたのは私の方だ。感じないのか。
I got a returning character for the third time. That is another Erza Scarlet from the anime Fairy Tail, made by Orca toys, and it's the Samurai Light Flame version. Honestly, I did not expect the box to be this huge because it's only a 1/6 scale figure, but the base was rather bigger than I expected. I already bought 2 previous Erza figures, however, I just needed to get one in her clear heart clothing. It's one of my favorite outfits she wears. It comes with some instructions on how to place the 2 flame pieces, which I found a bit confusing to understand initially. Here are all the pieces. I did not expect to see the black cube to be used as a base. I thought the flames were going to be the base alone, so that was a surprise. And the back has 2 swords, along with the pants, which are rubbery and needed to be placed on the legs. I knew the figure would come with some bare legs, but I thought it would be 2 separate legs. However, it's more of a cast off in this situation. The first thing I checked out was the flame effect, which I loved how it turned out. The character Erza doesn't use fire itself, but I believe it was used because it matches the color palette to the pants, or a reference to Natsu perhaps, or maybe because fire is just cool. Next is the black cube base, which I did not expect and made the figure larger in height than I anticipated. Then comes the main body itself, and I was thankful nothing came in broken, though I'll admit, the legs are far more orange than what I expected, but it looks great once connected to the flame effects. I really liked how the face expression turned out, and the hair is nicely sculpted. I like the darker red coloring given to it. And the chest turned out nice. And the bare legs, which is one of the reasons I decided to get this figure. And now to get to the back, for the 2 swords, the pants, and the 2 more flame effects, where only one can be placed at a time on the bigger flame effect, depending if you display the figure with or without the pants. I was really confused during the recording because I thought both of these flame pieces needed to be placed, and the instructions only showed blurry pictures, so that was hard to use. And now for the 2 swords. Both are pretty much the same in appearance, but one of them has a more orange on it. Finally, for the pants itself, which I was also surprised at because this is the first time a figure has such a rubbery piece. They open from the back, and while the concept of this is kinda cool, it was pretty difficult to place the legs inside the pants. Now to assemble the pieces, starting with the base, which was probably the hardest part to put together because I couldn't figure out which of the sex pegs fit into what, and the instructions didn't really help either. I eventually got it by using some force alone. I read that I wasn't the only one who had trouble with this, and some used a hairdryer or a heat gun to warp the pieces. Luckily, I didn't need to go that far or break anything in the process with brute force. Now to put in the pants, which was also pretty difficult, and even after I managed to put the legs inside, I couldn't close the back and I had to stop the recording to make sure everything was right. Then I move on to the flame effect. This one is for the pants, where the pants needs to connect to. And now for the swords, which was the easiest part to connect for this figure. While I did struggle a bit for the assembling, I really liked how it turned out in the end, and it was worth the purchase. This figure has been delayed for quite a bit, but I think the wait was worth it in my opinion. The figure from the bottom of the base to the head is roughly 15 inches in height. And to the tip of the blade, it's roughly 18.5 inches. That's quite big. Now for the completed figure display. I think my favorite part of this figure is the pose itself. I like how Erza has both of her swords out and looking downward while showing a clear view of the chest, and the flame effects really enhances the look. The only small thing that bothers me is the pants itself, because I feel like I didn't push them in correctly, or if it's supposed to look like that in general. Yeah, it still looks amazing. The figure also costed me $230 USD, with the shipping being $40. Glad to finally have this Erza delivered because this is one of my favorite outfits the character uses. This figure did have a different color variant called the jet black version, which has Erza in black pants with purple flames, and I was honestly struggling which of the two I liked more because I love it when figures are accurate to its source material, but having in a different color scheme can give it its own charm, something similar to shiny Pokemons. And after debating myself, I decided to get the red flame version because it's more accurate to the anime. Also, I think the jet black version has a different face expression. That one has her smiling, and the red flame version has her with a more serious face, which I think works better for this pose. However, the jet black version looks really cool nonetheless. And now to switch to small flame effect with the other one, which is used when a figure is pantless. Here's a quick display of the figure. I did find the coloring for the legs jarring when I first saw them, but it looks really cool once everything is put together. I think it looks great with and without the pants. However, I did have one small problem, other than trying to take out the pants, and it's that the pants painting marked the figure's legs, so be wary when trying to put in or take out the pants. And now for some quick shots of the Erza figures. I guess I like Erza more than I thought because I didn't expect to get 3 of them, and I'm considering getting more because there's not much red-headed characters that I really like, as in pure red and not like orange variant. So that's pretty much it for the figure display. This figure did surprise me quite a bit. The box was bigger than I anticipated, didn't expect the black cube for the base. I thought it would come with 2 legs to switch between them, rather than the rubbery pants, and it was much harder to assemble than I thought, but it looks great overall. Hope you enjoyed and see you for the next one.
夏グレーどうだ。私に勝とうなどとは100年。
わーお、ワニさんに噛まれて。
胸を減るものではないとはいえ、何を血の白に似ておるか。